Hey there, and welcome. Today, we are going to tackle one of the most, and I mean most, essential grammar points for the IELTS test. Yep, you guessed it, the past simple tense. Let's jump right in.
So let me just ask you a quick question. If you had to pick just one grammar tense to perfect before your big exam, which one would it be? Well, the answer might seem simple, but believe me, its impact is absolutely massive. It's the past simple.
And that kind of brings us to the big why. We're not just talking about some dusty old grammar rule here. Nope, we're talking about a seriously powerful tool. I want you to think of the past simple as your secret weapon for telling amazing stories and, getting that score you want.
So why is it such a big deal? Well, because a huge chunk of the IELTS speaking test is really all about storytelling. The examiners, they're going to ask you about your life, your memories, your experiences, and all of that stuff happened in the past. Nailing this tense makes your story sound clear, totally accurate, and really impressive.
Okay, so now that we know why it's so important, let's get down to the basics. Let's define its core job. What is the past simple tense actually doing?
So here it is, the most crucial point. We use the past simple for actions that are 100% finished. They started in the past and they ended in the past. There is zero connection to what's happening right now. They're complete, done, over.
This timeline here just shows it perfectly, right? Whether something happened 2 days ago, last week, or way back in 2010, it's a finished point in time. Like, I watched a movie yesterday, or she visited Paris last year. Both of those actions are over, totally sealed in the past. And by the way, this is a huge difference from the present perfect. Past simple actions have no bridge to the present. They are done.
And you want to hear the great news? The basic structure is incredibly simple. Seriously, it's just the subject followed by the past form of the verb. For instance, he played football. They studied English. Simple, clean, and straight to the point.
Okay, so we've got the structure down, but how do we actually get that past form of the verb? Well, this is where we need to talk about the two different types of verbs we have in English, the regular ones and the irregular ones.
This slide lays it out so clearly. For most verbs, these are the regular ones, you just add an ed to the end. So watch becomes watched, play becomes played. Easy. But then you've got the irregular verbs. And these guys, well, they change completely. Go becomes went. They don't really follow a simple rule.
And here are some of the most common ones you're going to use all the time. Go becomes went, eat becomes ate, have becomes had. The only way to get these down, and I'm sorry to say it, is just to memorize them. My advice? Start with the most common ones and then just build your way up from there.
And hey, here's a little pro tip for your speaking test. Really pay attention to how you say those ed endings. Sometimes it sounds like a T, like in worked. Sometimes it's a D, as in played. And sometimes it's an id sound, like in wanted. Getting this right is going to make you sound so much more natural. So, making positive statements is one thing, but real conversations are dynamic, right? We need to ask questions and say no to things. So how do we do that? Let's dive in.
Okay, asking a question in the past simple is a simple two-step dance. First, you always kick it off with the magic word did. Second, and listen up, because this is where everybody messes up. The main verb goes right back to its original, normal form. You do not say, did you went. Let's look at an example. Did you watch the movie? See that? We use did at the start, and the verb is watch, not watched. It's such a simple rule, but so many people forget it, so practice, practice, practice. Now, the rule for making a negative sentence is almost the exact same idea. You use the subject, then didn't, which is just short for did not, and then, you guessed it, you use this simple base form of the verb. He didn't play football. I didn't watch the movie. See? Easy. All right. We have the rules for statements, for questions, and for negatives. Now for the most important part of all. How do we use this stuff to absolutely ace the IELTS test? So just imagine the examiner gives you this prompt. This is a classic IELTS speaking task. Your entire answer, from start to finish, is going to hinge on how well you can use the past simple. And it's not just about trips. You'll probably be asked to talk about a teacher you really admired, or a project you completed, or a festival you went to. All of these topics demand that you tell a story that's set firmly in the past. This is your chance to really shine by using that past simple correctly. So let's lock in those key takeaways. Number 1, the past simple is all about completed past actions.
2. Regular verbs, just add ed. 3. Irregular verbs change their form completely. And 4. For questions and negatives, always use did or didn't with the base verb. Got it?
So now you have the rules, you have the structure, and you know exactly why it's so important for your exam. The only question left is this: what past experience, what memory, what amazing story are you going to tell first? Time to start practicing.